I know a lot of girls gonna hate me for saying this, but for the ones that don't want to have kids, what is your plan for when you get older? I'm not judging you. Hey, do you, boo? But seriously, like, what is your plan for when you get older? If, like, when you get older, your kids are usually the ones to take care of you or make sure you have a good retirement home, make sure no one's, kicking you behind the door or anything at the retirement home if that's where you choose to go. But what's your plan? Like, I'm realizing more than often than not, women are not wanting to have kids for their own reasons. Some can't, some don't want to end up as single mothers, some just like, yeah, no, it's just not happening. But like, what's y'all plan? I ain't judging. I just want to know, like, seriously, from one person to another, like, what's the plan?
Your children should not be your retirement plan. You should plan your life in such a way that you're saved up, you're intentionally saving up for retirement without having to be dependent on your children when you get older. You do not spend your time, your days as an adult doing things for your children with a mindset that when they grow up, they're going to reciprocate it for you. And you get angry and bitter if they don't, because now they're older, they have their own life. They sometimes want to move away to other states or countries, and you have to let them flow because you are not entitled to have them like that. You should get retirement insurance. You should get life insurance. You should get a 403b, 401k. You should have different tiers of savings set up for your retirement. You should drink water, exercise, take care of yourself, minimize stress, sleep so your brain function stays sharp for the longest term. Exercising all the time, maintaining good weight. You're doing these things for yourself so you can extend a healthier version of yourself as you get older. Not become needy as you get older because you expect your children to not be your source of entertainment. Meanwhile, when you're growing up, you sometimes even barely there for them like that. Some of us had to raise ourselves and now have to reparent ourselves because we didn't get those things that we needed emotionally, even sometimes a lot of time physically, from parents that are supposed to be immature parents who then have children and then parentify the children. Do things for your children so your children don't become vulnerable while they're growing up. And when they are older, let them be because they are made for themselves. Have a different type of mindset towards what your children are. Your children are not and will not be your retirement plan. And also to those Ghanaian men, African men who are not there for their children. And when they all of a sudden their children are older and doing something, making money or doing better for themselves, all of a sudden they show up. Oh, I'm your dad. Where were you when I needed you? Where were you at my graduation? Where were you at my recitals? Oh, your mother didn't allow me to come. Oh, really? Did you go to court to set up your visitation right? To be consistent with your visitation right? To be consistent with supporting them, not just financially, but emotionally, physically, all the stuff. Being intentional and consistent. Your children are not your retirement. They are not objects. They are human beings who needed you, and you chose to intentionally not be there. So that's on you. Leave the children alone. Raise them to be good humans, but with zero expectations. Let them live their beautiful life and live their purpose, not your purpose. Don't live your life through them. Get a hobby. So when you're older and retired, you have a hobby to go to do pickleball. This summer, I'm going to learn how to pickleball. Learn how to swim. African ladies, you don't know how to swim. African men, you don't know how to swim. Go take a swimming lesson, even as an adult. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that's too late. Go take a class, tennis class, whatever. But whatever wasn't the right one, but find a hobby. Start YouTubing, start TikToking. That's a good hobby that you can use when you get older. Go hiking, find some hiking friend, find a good supportive community, go bingo, go dancing, adult dancing, okay? But start now. Don't wait till you're in your 60s, 70s and your bones are hurting and I was like, oh, Quincy, can you come and get me? And leave your sons alone too. Some of you guys, your sons become like your husbands. Leave your sons alone. Get a life. And this is why we get miserable mother-in-laws, because they are living their life through their sons. Leave their sons and their marriages alone. Get a hobby, get a life, go work, save money for your future. Maybe your sons help you, your kids help you, fine. But you're not completely dependent on them for that. Okay, love you, bye.
But for the ones that don't want to have kids, what is your plan for when you get older?
This is an excellent question. As a child-free person by choice, I am happy to answer. So for me, it's a two-part. I do own my own home. So first thing is to, between the age of 65 to 75, hire a living nurse or get long-term medical care in a nursing home, whichever is applicable at the time. And so my retirement savings and insurance is geared towards that. I've also spoken to family and friends, given that they're still alive, given that they have the capacity, they know what is going on as well. So I don't plan my future in isolation of the people that I love, and I know that will be there. Even if I do have a life partner, or possibly a spouse, as much as marriage is not at the top of my list, it's something that I am open to considering. I always put it that way. This conversation will be had with that person as well, but I don't look to others to fund my future or my senior citizen life. So it's something I think about, but I think everyone should think about it irrespective of having children or not.
You get older.
So I wanted to answer this question as someone who is child-free and somebody who works in healthcare. First of all, children are not a retirement plan. Recently, I've had some developmentally disabled patients, and if they're not capable of making their own medical decisions, what kind of care do you think they're giving their parents? None. They don't have the capacity to. I've had other patients that are in active addiction. Once again, they are not able to make choices for their parents if they had a medical crisis. More commonly, the kids live out of state, and they're not super available. Estrangement, also very common. Do you know how many people I sent home on a taxi voucher because they don't have anybody in their life to give them a ride? There's also children who predeceased their parents. What I'm seeing a lot are spouses and siblings advocating for the patient. And crazily enough, I had this patient who was 70, and the mom calls to chicken on him. And I'm just sitting there trying to do the math. I'm like, your kid is 70? How old is the mom? Now, if you don't believe me, and that's fine, I would encourage you to talk to other healthcare workers, more on the long-term care side of things. Now, as a child-free person who's taking care of me, the same people that are taking care of you in the nursing home, my personal plan is to get long-term care insurance. The last time I tried, I was in my late 20s, and they told me I was too young. And that was just one broker that I spoke to.
Get older.
Well, I'll give you an example. My egg donor had 3 children. I'm the oldest, and I had no contact with her. I don't talk to her at all. Not even a little bit. Apparently, my sisters have gotten no contact, but I'm kind of low contact with my youngest sister. Or I don't have any contact with my youngest sister. But apparently they're both no contact with my egg donor as well. In fact, my aunt, my egg donor sister, had my niece call my sister to let her know that my egg donor had a major surgery. And then my sister called me to let me know. And I didn't give a fuck. I didn't ask if she was okay. I didn't call her to see if she was okay. I didn't write a letter to see if she was okay, because I don't give a fuck. So if I have children, there's no guarantee that they're going to take care of me when I get older. And I wouldn't want to put the burden on my children to have to take care of me when I get older. So what are my plans when I get old? Live, travel, and die. Like, hopefully I'll have friends who, I get to hang out with in my old age, or hopefully my husband, lives with me to old age. But I'm just going to live my life and then die. What else is there?
Have a good retirement home.
I have kids, so I'm going to put that out there. But I will say, it's not your kid's job to plan for your old age. Just because you have kids, it does not mean they're going to take care of you in your old age. Having kids does not mean they're going to keep you safe in your old age. Look at all these true crime things where people have been unalived by their own children. That's not a guarantee. If you want to have kids, have them. If you don't, you don't. But do not have kids thinking it is a guarantee they're going to make sure you're okay in your old age, because that's not true.
What is your plan for when you get older?
In this time and age, people are still getting children for the wrong reasons, like you want them to look after you when you get older. What if they die? They could pass on, no one knows the future. Like, for instance, my dad and the sister, they passed on and their parents are still there. What if they didn't have other children to look after them? What could have happened? You don't get children so that they can look after you when you're old. You get them because you're ready financially, you're ready emotionally, and you want to. No one is forcing you, and it's not a mistake. You do it because you want to, and not because you want them to look after you when you're old. What if they don't? What if they end up hating you because of your bad habits when raising them, because you didn't love them at first, and they won't take care of you when you're old? What if that happens? You do it because you want to.
Now, this is not the popular opinion, but I agree with this comment. I believe that my job as a parent is to take care of my children, teach them what they need to know, and give them the resources they need to have the best life possible. And when they get older, they don't owe me anything for that, because that's my job. I brought them into this world and they did not ask to be here. I don't like the argument that, oh, your parents put a roof over your head, so you're obligated to do this and that for them, because they were supposed to do that. Anything else would have been neglect. Of course, many children help their parents when they can out of love and appreciation. But to expect that your adult child is obligated to take care of their household and yours too is crazy to me.
You've got to plan enough for inflation and all of the unforeseen things that may come up that you just don't know when you're a young person. And let me say one last thing before I end this video. If you're young and you have little ones running around, I want you to take a look at them today and understand that they are not your retirement plan. And they deserve to go off in life and plan their own lives. And when you retire, they should still be enjoying their life and you enjoy yours. So sock it away now while you're young. Put it away. They're not your retirement plan.